Information Week. Today is everything about Texas rigs. If you have any more ideas, please drop them in the comments down below. I'll either get to them tomorrow or at a later date. Texas rigging is really simple. People make it seem like it's hard. Pretty much every single plastic on this wall right here, you can throw on a Texas rig. And there's a couple different ways to do it, not very many. From my experience, there's 3 different types of hooks and 3 different types of weights for Texas rigs. We'll start off with the hooks. You have your standard EWG extra wide gap with that little curve in the end of it. You have your weighted, or as I like to call fluke hook, with your screw-on barb up there and then the weight on the bottom. You can also buy weighted EWGs with a weight on the top. And then you have your straight shank worm hook. I'll be going over all 3 of these. I have baits selected for all 3 of the hooks. And I'll be showing you how to rig up a bait on a hook. And then there's also 3 different kinds of weights. There is a tungsten weight, which are small, but they're expensive. This is the Bass Pro XPS, 1/4 ounce weight. 4 of these were $8. You have your bullet weight. This is a 1/4 ounce, this is a 1/2 ounce. They're bigger, but they're cheaper. I got a pack of, I think 80 of these for like $2 at Sportsman's Warehouse. See your bullet weights, and then you have your worm weights, which are long and lead. You can also just use a tungsten or a normal bullet weight if you don't have worm weights, but those are for worms. Now, let's get to the how to set up a Texas rig before you put on your plastic. Okay. In this demonstration, I'm going to be using the 1/2 ounce lead weight straight shank worm hook, 20-pound fluorocarbon on an Abu Garcia virtual connected bait caster rod. So if you would like to, before you put on your weight, if you want your weight to stay in place, put on a bobber stop a bobber stop. Slide it up the line. I don't have any at the moment, but they're really small little stops. And you take them and you slide them up on the line, and you slide them up the line until you get your weight on. If you choose to put a bobber stop on, you don't have to. If you choose to, after that, put on your weight. Slide it in the top to where it's looking like that whenever the line is down. But if you let go of the line, and then slide it up the line. Now, have your hook. Just tie on your hook. I'm just going to be using a simple over-under knot twice to make it quick instead of a uni knot or a polymer knot. I prefer a uni or an improved clinch knot. You can tie whatever you'd like. I'm just tying an over-under to get this demonstration done. Okay. There's your Texas rig. So your weight is right above your hook. Trying to get a little bit closer, but I don't have enough line out. But there it is. Your weight's right above your hook. Now, let's put on a plastic. I'm going to start with the extra wide gap hook because this is the most common hook you'll see in Texas rigs. I will be using a Googan Bandito bug, a white one, to demonstrate this so you can see it better. Start off, you want it facing, so you have the hook. You don't want it facing like this because when it's sitting on the hook, it will face like that. You want it facing sideways with the hook. So whenever the hook's in, the tip's sticking out like that. Stick it through the end. You push it down, and there's a little angle right there that goes up to the hook, to the main part of the hook. Push it down till it gets to that corner. Then puncture the hook through the bait. Like that. Then slide it up the hook. Once you get here, to this little swivel right here, turn the bait 180 degrees and push it on up. Maybe, if it wants to go. There we go. Now, it should look like this. Now, you want to mark with your thumb where the hook's going to line up. So it's going to line up about right there. Take your bait, shove it through. These Googan baits are so greasy. There we go. That's what it should look like. And if you want it weedless, push the bait up and cover the very tip of the hook with the bait so it won't get caught on weeds. As you can see, I'm sliding my finger all the way down the bait. It doesn't get caught. That's how you do a EWG hook. A worm hook. It's pretty much the same thing. If you're a beginner, I would start with an EWG, and then once you get up, because worm hooks take a little bit more skill to use. I'm going to use a pink Bass Pro Sticko for this demonstration. Stick it through until you get to the curve. Right there. So you start getting to the curve. Puncture. Slide up. Turn 180 degrees. Push it up till the eye of the hook sticking out. Mark with your thumb or your finger. And puncture. Just like that. To make it weedless, just bury the tip of the hook in the bait. Nice and weedless. The fluke hook is a little bit different. I'm using a Yum fluke for this demonstration. It has a little screw right there. And it doesn't have the main, like, swivelly part. There's a little end to the screw. You want to stick the head of the fluke into that. Don't shove it all the way up the screw. Just stick it until it starts getting to this part where you have to screw it. If I don't pull it out. Then you start screwing righty-tighty, lefty-loosey until you get to the top. If you can, try to have the belly facing toward the hook, like I have. Because the belly on most flukes open up like that, so it's easier to stick the hook through. Now do the same thing you do with your EWGs. Mark it with your finger or with your thumb. Stick it through the belly. Just like that. Make it weedless. Just like that. That's some weedless. That's all three of the ways you rig up a Texas rig. Where to fish a Texas rig, they'll work all year round. Especially just a weightless Senko like this. Most colors are good if the bite's tough. A fluke is good if there's a lot of shad in your lake. You can throw it around cover. And this is good, especially this white bandito bug is good for spawning and going around cover and punching it in grass. The types of rods you want to use, if you are using a heavier weight, like a 1/2 ounce to 1 ounce, or if you're throwing directly into cover or grass, I would go with a heavy setup and then like a 6.5 or a 7:1 gear ratio. If you are not punching into grass, you're throwing next to cover, or you're throwing a fluke, I would use a medium heavy. With most Texas rigs, you just bounce them along the bottom, or you drag them along the bottom. There's some you can swim. Like there's a lot of craws that you can swim that will flap in the water and all that stuff. All these soft plastics too you can use for trailers on jigs and chatterbaits. I covered those baits yesterday. If you want to go check that out if you haven't already. The Bandito bug is good on the back of a jig. Senko's is just good by itself. And then the Fluke is good on the back of a chatterbait. So yeah, that's everything you need to know about Texas rigs. If you did like the video, please leave a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Also hit the sub button if you're new. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.